Hi, everybody. I'm Morbid Mads, and I'm no MadsPat. Rest in peace, Mr. Pythias. We will miss you dearly in your retirement, but I have been an avid theorist for over a decade now, and I believe I have some pretty compelling evidence for my theory about Poppy Playtime. Obviously, if you've clicked on this video, you've read the title, and you know that I believe Poppy is not on the player's side. I think it came as a surprise to all of us when Chapter 2 came out, and Poppy was actually helping us rather than being the main antagonist. The game is called Poppy Playtime after all, and in Chapter 3, she's once again helping us to defeat the prototype. At least, that's what she claims. An interesting new addition to the cast of characters in Chapter 3 is Ollie, the little boy on the phone who somehow has the power to send us keys through some weird hydraulic tube system. I've seen a lot of speculation that we've got another Gregory / the Mimic situation here, which, if you're not familiar with the world of Five Nights at Freddy's, is how the main antagonist in that FNAF game, Ruin, pretends to be a little boy named Gregory to lure the main character places and to do bad things. I believe this is also the case in Poppy Playtime, which makes for an interesting mascot horror hive mind moment that could probably be a conspiracy theory in and of itself. I think that Ollie is in fact the prototype. Now, the main reason I've seen people make this claim is Ollie's odd speech patterns and how he only seems to have one emotion when speaking, which is certainly true.
Anyways, we're really close to the end. I sent you a new key. You're going to the counselor's office instead.
Obviously, we never directly see Ollie either, and as previously mentioned, Bro has the ability to use some weird key sending system. However, there's one piece of crucial evidence that I've not seen brought up anywhere, and it happens to be found in the more forgotten release by Mob Entertainment, Project Playtime, the game where you could play with your friends. Project Playtime is the game where we learned about the Bigger Bodies Initiative, which is the whole conspiracy of turning people, mostly the orphan children, into giant toys. If you're not familiar with this lore, I recommend watching the Game Theorist's videos on this, or even searching one of your own. I've put a game theory video down in the description if you would like to watch that. Besides this, there are also the 2 VHS tapes that can be found when playing this game. These tapes both begin with Harley Sawyer, the creator of the Bigger Bodies Initiative, talking about said project. This is how we know the lore about the Bigger Bodies Initiative in the first place. However, both tapes are suddenly interrupted by static, and then text on screen that seems to be speaking directly to the player. I'm going to play the first of these tapes now. Obviously, an entity or group of entities is reaching out to the player. This entity states that the Bigger Bodies Initiative will fail and that they are sending the player a gift once they're deemed trustworthy. I believe that the entity communicating with us here is the prototype. We know the prototype can alter tapes and live broadcasts because during the Hour of Joy emergency broadcast in Chapter 3, we can see him doing this exact same thing. The warning to employees is suddenly cut off and replaced by text stating, "Open the doors now. The Hour of Joy is upon us." The prototype is the one who set up the entire Hour of Joy operation, and this is him telling the others it is time. If we examine the text in this tape and the other more closely, we can see that it's the same font and spacing as well as capitalization. This feels like a clear indication that these messages are coming from the same person. Why would the prototype refer to itself as we, though, in the Project Playtime's tape? I believe this is because he is assimilating the other bigger bodies monsters into himself. In Chapter 2, Mommy Longlegs says this before being killed and her body taken away by the prototype.
What have you done? You make me part of you!
In addition to this, if you slow the first tape from Project Playtime to a 0.25 playback speed, you can see these messages. This could be the monsters already assimilated with him, pleading with the player for help. But what the heck does any of this have to do with Ollie or Poppy? That's where the second tape from Project Playtime comes in. Now that we've established that it's the prototype communicating with us through these tapes, the contents are far more illuminating. In the second tape, Harley Sawyer is again interrupted by the prototype's text. I won't play the whole thing, but I'll link it in the description if anyone would like to watch it. Basically, the gift that the prototype promised the player has arrived. Here's a direct quote. Your gift has finally arrived. You may have noticed it. It is the phone. We are working to establish a secure line. You will be called when the time arrives. The prototype stated that he's giving the player a phone, which they will be called with when the time arrives. Sound familiar?
Hey, can you hear me?
That's right. The only way we ever communicate with Ollie is through a phone that randomly rings as we're making our way to the playcare. This feels like a direct and clear indication that Ollie is 100% the prototype. That weird spindly hand dude literally told us this was the plan. And if Ollie is the prototype, what does that mean for Poppy? Finally, we're back to the character we started this whole thing with. Well, we see Poppy clearly acknowledge that Ollie is talking to us and helping us. She knows this is happening. And if she was truly working to destroy the prototype, why would she let him talk to us at all? Why would she have the same goals as him? Of course, this begs the question of what the prototype actually wants. Clearly, he's not just looking to finish the job of killing all Playtime employees. Otherwise, he would have just killed the player. I mean, Catnap literally drops the player down a chute at the beginning of Chapter 3, rather than just mauling them to death. Obviously, the prototype needs us alive for some reason. What that reason is, I don't know. Was it just to redirect the red smoke? To power the playcare? Even if that's not the final thing we're needed for, he did need us for that. And who's the one who crashed the train into the playcare in the first place? Poppy. Side note, I think it's interesting to consider the death screens in the context of the prototype keeping us alive as well, but that's a theory for another day. Whatever goal the prototype is trying to achieve, Poppy is helping him to achieve it. But she needs our trust in order to manipulate us, so she tells us about the hour of joy and how she needs our help to stop him. She manipulates Kissy Missy in this exact same way, and then leaves her to die at the end of Chapter 3. Didn't you think it was kind of weird that Kissy Missy needed to stay behind and pull a lever for us to go down the elevator, but then it was going to head back up so she can come down? If she can make it come down by herself, obviously she can pull the lever and reach the elevator in time to use it. There's no good reason for her to stay behind, unless Poppy is leaving her there on purpose. As we head down in the elevator, we hear the clear sounds of Kissy Missy being attacked.
We're coming! Just hold on! Come on, go faster! Kissy!
Following the idea that the prototype is trying to assimilate all the bigger bodies monsters, this makes sense that the prototype would attack her and assimilate her. But Poppy has cleared herself of any involvement with it, and has still kept the player's trust. Now, this theory, of course, does have a few dangling threads, especially with Catnap. We know that Catnap is severely loyal to the prototype, and even worships him. If the prototype needs the player to move the smoke and power the playcare, why does Catnap try so vehemently to stop you? I don't have a clear answer for this, but it's possible that Catnap discovered something he didn't like about the prototype's plan and betrayed him. The prototype does kill him after all. Or maybe the prototype gave him the final task of making it seem like he's trying to kill you so that you trust Poppy more. There's just not enough evidence here to make this piece of the puzzle fit exactly. But I don't think that necessarily means the rest is untrue. Everything else fits together so perfectly that I feel like when we have more information, this might make more sense. So there you have it, my beliefs on what's going on in Poppy Playtime Chapter 3. Obviously, we still have so many questions, not only about what the prototype wants, but about Playtime Co.'s history as a whole. What was the true purpose of the Play Care and even the Bigger Bodies initiative? I have no idea, but I cannot wait to see where this franchise goes with it. And remember, that's just a theory. Again, wait a second. This is obviously not the right channel for that. See you guys next time.